Hey guys, so this is a cold start in the JF-17 Thunder using INS and navigation alignment. So what you want to do is open up the communications menu. Now I have my key binding set to shift and / here. Once that has opened, you want to select ground crew or F8, and then you want to open up the configuration panel, which is F5. Now once your configuration panel is opened, what you will need to do is select inlet, cover and ladder. This ensures that your engine inlet cover is removed and the ladder is removed. Now you also have the option to select your refueling probe if you choose to deactivate this, which I will choose to do as well. So we just need to click these to deselect them and click on apply. Okay, so once that is done, you will receive confirmation from the ground crew that that has been actioned. As you can see on our right, there is no refueling probe. Now, what you can do is you can continue now to start your battery and generators, which we'll do here. Now, once your battery and generators have started up, what you'll need to do is turn on your comms, which you can do here, and make sure all your volumes of knobs are set to maximum or your preferred choice.
Warning.
Now, as you can hear, the warning sign it's quite annoying, so I choose to actually just, for now, for this video, I choose to completely mute that. Okay, so now what you'll need to do is go to your avionics activation panel or your APP, which is on your right down here. Make sure both your COM1 and your COM2 are selected, and make sure this button is also selected to power on your MFDs, which you can see here. Okay, so once that is done, now you'll need to turn on your warning panel and your oxygen indicator lights here. As you can see, the warning panel knob light is here and the oxygen indicator knob light is here. I've already turned them up. Now the next step is to turn on your HUD. So let's turn these on here, and your HUD brightness is on here, and then your UFCP, which is this panel. I've already got that turned on, which is this knob here. Shortly you'll see the HUD come to life, as you can see here. Okay, so once that is done, what you need to do is click on the master caution switch here. Now this might turn on again once you start the engine procedures. Now what we want to turn on is the nav master mode. Now the default key binding for this is number 1. So as you can see, the MFDs have changed now. And then what you want to do is you want to go down here to your radio and select it to transmit receive. So 2 clicks to the right, 1, 2. And then what you want to do is select your volume to maximum, which is already default there. Okay, so now we can commence with the engine start procedures. Now the first thing you want to do is make sure the throttle is idle. So we click on this. If you do not do this, your engines will not start. Now what you want to do is turn on your fuel pumps here. You might be able to hear the fuel pumps generate. Then turn on your engine control here. Now your starter here, make sure it is selected to the middle, and make sure your parking brake is on. Now once all those checks are in place, you can hold down the ground power switch for approximately 4 seconds to start the engine spooling process. So let's go ahead and start. There we go. Now once our engines are spooling up, you will be able to see here on the left MFD the RPMs and the engine spooling up there, the indicator of the engine spooling up. Now the stable percentage is 70%. In the warning light indicator here, you should shortly be able to see the battery and DC generator and other lights go off as the engine starts spooling up. So we'll just wait till that hits 70% there. Okay, so now we can see our engine performance indicator is showing that our engines are a stable 70% RPM. Now what we want to do is we want to set the environmental controlling system switch to norm, which we can do here. So make sure that's set to norm. This is basically airflow to cool down the avionics there. Now we can also see our SHARS is also on. SHARS is basically strap down heading attitude reference system here, so that is all on, and it also appears on our HUD here. Okay, once that is all done, we now need to set up our coordinates for longitude, latitude, altitude and our heading. So if we click on the DST number 4 button here, we will be able to see in the UFCB panel switch our latitude and longitude here. Of course, they are not properly set. Now, what we can do is we can select the right shift and K for kilo keys on our keyboard, which brings up our knee board there. So this is our current latitude, longitude, altitude and heading here. Now, what you can do is you can enter this in manually using the numbers here in the keypad. However, what I like to do is I like to automatically set them. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to press Shift and K to bring that down, and we're going to open up the communications menu, select ground crew, and then we're going to go back to the configuration panel, which is F5. Now what we want to do is click on Update INS Align Data here. Make sure you select this, and then you want to click on Apply. And we'll wait for that to go ahead and be applied there.
Coordinates ready.
Fantastic, so that's it all done. Let me bring up the knee board by pressing Shift and K again. Now this is the default for the JF-17. So if you see, our latitude longitude number should align, including our altitude here. Now the only thing that we need to input is actually our true heading indicator here. That does not automatically get added into the system. Okay, so to add in our true heading, what we need to do is we will first close down the knee board, and we want to click on the INS switch here. Now once the INS switch has been clicked on, we want to click on fast, so one click to the right, and then we should shortly see this appear on the center MFD here. Excellent. Now we can see this on our MFD, so it's currently aligning. There is your time. Now to input our true heading, we just need to click on this green arrow here, and then we do need to select the correct numbers. Now let me bring up my knee board again. So my heading is 116. Now obviously everyone's will be different depending on where they are, so let me just put this in here. 1. As you can see, it's being entered here, and then 6. Excellent, so our true heading has now been entered. Now as we can see, our true heading has been selected there. Now once that has been done, you can also see on the HSE page. Now what you want to do is select the nav. Now once nav has been selected, this will shortly refresh on your center MFD under the INS heading. And then what you want to do now is click on nav. Your INS and nav have now been successfully updated. Okay, so once that is done, I personally like to close the canopy at the end once I've done all the checks, but it's entirely up to yourself how you want to do it. I understand the engine can be a little noisy. So here's how we close the canopy. It's very easy, just one click to the left here, or maybe another click. There we go. So we can see our canopy closing, and then another click to lock in place. Now this is a basic startup procedure. There are further procedures to implement, such as your IFF. Depending on what weapon system you have, you can actually select your air to ground and air to air modes as well there. Now what you can do as well is you can connect your oxygen and your G-suit right here. Turn on your oxygen valve. You should shortly see it in your oxygen indicator here. Should be blinking, as we can see right here. And yeah, that's basically much it there. You can go ahead, proceed with the taxi procedures. Taxi lights on, park and brake off, nose wheel steering on, and that is you good to go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.